Hey, what's up, Salt Strong family? This is Pat Ogletree, and in this video, I'm going to give you some hacks that's going to help you save some money. And here at Salt Strong, what we want to do is we want to help you catch more fish in less time while saving money. And we've done quite a few tips on how to catch the fish in quicker time, but what I want to do is now give you some information that's going to help you save some money. I know this is a big topic for a lot of people out there, especially with the economy that's going on right now, so I figured I can give you some hacks that will help you out. The first one that I'm going to give you is flipping your soft plastics over. And what I mean by that is if you have a normal soft plastic that you have on a rigging hook, whether that be our Haas Helix hook or even the weedless football jig head, any one of your favorite hooks, what happens is after a while when that hook keeps on popping up, it doesn't want to stay in place. So what you can do, instead of just throwing that lure away because the hook just keeps on pointing up, all you have to do is pull that hook off, give your lure just a half of a twist right there, put it on upside down, and because this is a paddle tail, this just happens to be a 2.0, but this will work on any one of our lures, but this is going to work just the same. That paddle tail is going to flip just the same, and this way you can actually get a couple of more fish out of that same lure. You don't have to worry about throwing that lure away. Now this actually works with jerk shads, and it'll work with shrimp, it'll work with our 2.0, the mulligan, the bomber, any soft plastic that's out there. All you have to do is just turn that lure over and you'll get some more life out of it. Now the second hack that I want to give you when it comes to saving some money is you can actually trim down your lures. You can trim down your soft plastics, and there's a couple different reasons why you can do that. The first one is going to be if you ever fish them on a jig head, just like a normal jig head like this happens to be the Haas football jig head, but what happens is after you catch a fish or two, the head of it can get torn up and it doesn't want to stay on that jig head. So what you can actually do is just take the lure, take a pair of scissors and just cut the end of it off. But you want to make sure and use a lure that still has enough meat there that the jig head can thread on there and you can still use it. So when you do that, now you got brand new plastic and you can actually take and rig that up, and it works just like it does as if it was a brand new lure. So we can just go ahead and push that on there, and then look, just like new. You got a brand new lure and it's going to stay in place. Now another reason why you'd want to trim that lure is say you're out there and they are on a smaller bite. Say they like the smaller lures like the 3.5 inch, but you ran out of them, or all you have is 4 inch and you want to trim them down. You can actually trim that lure down and then take a 4 inch lure like this mulligan, make it a 3.5 inch or even a 3 inch lure, and then you can get on some more bites that way. So if you don't have the right lure, or if you ran out of the right lures, you can actually take a larger one and make it work that way. That way that'll save you some money too. And here's another hack that can help you save some money, and that is by flipping your braid on your reel. And what I mean is a lot of times what happens is braid lasts a very long time. It's not like monofilament, it's not like a copolymer or anything like that, or even a fluorocarbon where the sun and the heat can break that material down. This braid lasts for a long, long time. So what happens a lot of times is you'll actually get the part of the braid that you use a lot, that you're casting through your guides, gets a little bit worn. It can lose its color, and it just has an all-around different look to it. What you can do, instead of replacing the whole line, you can actually take all the line off of the reel, retie it with that used end on your back or on your spool, and then reel it back in. It's like having brand new braid. Now the best way that I've found to strip off this line without making a mess is go to an area where you've got a big open field, or maybe there's, you know, that dirt road that's dead end that doesn't have a lot of traffic, and you can actually pull all of that line off, cut the line right there at the reel, go back to the beginning of the line and retie wherever your worn line was on that reel, and then thread it back on, spool it back on, and that way you flip the line easier. And there's actually a tip out there that Tony did where you can actually use 2 spools where you can help flip the line. And what I'll do is I'll put the link down below so you can see how to do it that way. Now, before I show you the next hacks, I want to let you know about Salt Strong. We are a group of anglers that believe in helping each other out. We believe the world should have more tackle boxes and less X boxes, and the way to make that happen is to teach you how to catch more fish. And that's what we do at Salt Strong. So if you want to catch more inshore fish like snook, trout, flounder, and redfish, join us in the Insider Club at saltstrong.com. Now back to the tips. Now, this next hack is actually one of my favorite hacks, and it really isn't one that you would think of, but not only does it help you save money, it also helps you save some time, and I believe it makes you a better fisherman. And what that is reducing the amount of tackle that you bring. Now, what happens in being fishermen is we all are gearheads. We all like to have, the new lure and try things out, but eventually what happens is we tend to go back to our confident baits, and we'll take this new stuff and it winds up piling up on a shelf. And not only is it wasting space, it's also wasting money, and then it's wasting time. What I want you to do is just find some confidence lures, just some lures that you can simplify and you can use in any type of situation. Just by changing the jig heads, you can change that depth, but you have confidence in using them. You don't have to go out there and buy the fancy lure that just came out, or the new this or that or whatever, because now it has gold flake instead of red flake. All of this stuff, most of the time, I hate to say it, is meant to catch fishermen and not necessarily fish. Now, when I take my kayak out, I have a 19-quart dry box that I use as my tackle box. That is all I use. What I'm going to bring out with me is I'm going to bring a couple of different sizes and colors of paddle tails. I'm going to use a couple of different colors of jerk baits, a couple of different sizes and colors of shrimp imitations, and then a handful of hard lures, like the topwater plugs and your subsurface. And what that does is it eliminates the stuff that I'm going to bring, and I'm not too worried about, thinking in the back of my mind, am I using the right lure? I'm concentrating on finding the feeding fish. Once you find the feeding fish, everything else becomes easier. So you don't need a whole lot of different lures and different color combinations. Just make sure you've got the profile correct, and then you have the depth correct. Now, what I like doing when it comes to picking my colors out, I usually use some natural colors. I'll bring something like the Slam Shady color, which is that white with the silver and gold flake. I'll bring the Alabama Leprechaun color, which is that green. This will cover the natural colors. What I'll also like to do is bring a darker colors, because sometimes the fish would just be keyed in on darker bait. That's where that gold digger comes in with that gold flake. And then what I'll do is I'll use a brighter color, which is like our Fred, that pink color. And that way, if I'm in a situation where I want my lure to stand out a little bit more, then I'll usually put something brighter on, or if it's a tannic color water, I'll use that pink color. So that way I'm more concentrated on finding feeding fish and not really worried about the color or the lure that I'm using. Now, this tip right here will help you save a lot of money once you find that confidence bait, and that is going to be buy them in bulk packs. Buy bigger packs of them. That way you're paying less for each lure. There's a couple different things that we do. We do have the 7 packs, we've got the 100 packs, but we also have bundles. So if you want to try a different lure or a different style of lure, you can actually buy them in bundles, and typically they'll either come with all the different colors of that particular lure, or even with rigging hooks that work with all the lures. So buying bundles and buying larger packs works better. If you want to just try a lure out, that's why we have the 7 packs. But again, once you find that lure, say it's that, Slam Shady 2.0 might be your confidence bait, go ahead and buy that 100 pack. And that way you're going to be saving more money in the long run. Now, we do have the 100 packs available at fishstrong.com, but if you would like to see a different size, maybe a 20 pack or a 25 pack, or even a different number, I'd like to hear from you. Go ahead and put those comments down below. We're always looking for different feedback from our insiders so we can help increase our lineup to serve you guys better. Now, this is a list of 5 hacks that can help you save some money. By no means is this a complete list. I would love to hear from you. What are some special hacks that you guys do that helps you save some money? And if you share that with the other insiders, that can help everybody out. That would be great. And I would love to hear some of these and use some of them myself. Now, as always, I really appreciate you watching. And if you have any questions or comments, again, just put those down below and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.